Did you know that there is a town in America that got a statue of a beetle right in the middle of the town? Now the town's name is called Enterprise, and it is in the state of Alabama. But why would a town have a statue of a beetle in the middle of the town? You will find out. Did you know that peanuts are one of the best things that you can eat? It's full of vitamins and minerals and proteins. And if you eat something like these peanuts, it makes a very nice snack. Do you know how peanuts are grown? Well, the small peanut bush has got roots with the nuts on. So they pull out the whole peanut bush and they dry the bush, and then they get the peanuts from the roots. But back to our story about the statue of the beetle in the middle of the town of Enterprise. Now the farmers in the area of Enterprise, they farmed with cotton. Cotton is the white fluffy part of the cotton plant that they use to make threads and then to make clothes. But in 1915 there was a beetle that destroyed the cotton plantations, and the beetle's name is called the Boll Weavel, and it destroyed the plants, the cotton plants, and the farmers had to decide to grow something in its place, and they decided to plant peanuts. And they got so much peanuts that in the Enterprise area that they grew the most peanuts in the whole of America, and they made a lot of money. So after 4 years after the Boll Weavel pest, they erected a statue to the beetle to say thank you, because after the pest came, they grew the peanuts, and it became, and it was so much better for the farmers. And what they said on the statue was, and I'm going to read it, in a profound appreciation of the Boll Weavel. So in 1915, the farmers were very angry against this beetle called the Boll Weavel because it destroyed their plantations. But 4 years later, they looked back and they were so glad the Boll Weevils came, and they saw it as a blessing for them. And there are times in our lives as Christians that we face difficulties and problems, and sometimes it even makes us angry. But we must remember that God is in control. As he said in Romans 8 verse 28, he says, and we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God. So God uses, and he uses not just the good things, but he uses also the bad things, those difficult times and problems that we face. And he brings out good. So almost like these farmers, that they lost their cotton crops, but they were blessed by even the Boll Weevils. That the Boll Weevils was even a help, a blessing for them. And our problems, if we are children of God, God will make it a blessing. It will make for us a help in our lives. We can also think of the Apostle Paul and the difficult situation he was in, because he was put in prison and he was chained to the soldiers, and every day there was other soldiers that was chained to him so that he couldn't get away. But that was an opportunity for Paul to talk about the good news about Jesus to the soldiers, and they couldn't go away because they were chained to him. So God brought a blessing for Paul, but also for the soldiers in this circumstance. God helped Paul in those circumstances. Are you facing difficulty today? A problem? And ask God to give you peace and trust Him to bring a blessing out of it.